The first anomaly was a voicemail from a courthouse phone that had been unplugged for 11 years. Case file TR46-1. The Twilight Registry assigned the number after the County Dispatch Archive produced 5 versions of the same emergency call. Each version began with the caller alive. Each ended with a different operator, quietly asking to be removed from the record. The location was Briar Hook, Ohio, a small place built around ordinary routines. School buses, church basements, late shifts at the clinic, porch lights left on for children who had already learned the roads. The first rule of the investigation was to treat the town as awake and frightened, not cursed. The second rule was written later in red pencil. Do not let the town know you are counting it. The first physical recovery was a green metal file box. It was found where no object should have survived, sealed inside a wall with wet fingerprints on the inside surface of the plaster. The evidence team bagged it at 6:12 p.m. At 6:13, every clock in the building corrected itself to 2:17 a.m. Registry liaison Mara Venn interviewed Evelyn Rusk, the night clerk. The witness spoke clearly for 11 minutes, then stopped and asked whether anyone else could hear paper being folded behind their teeth. The room microphones captured no paper. They did capture a second voice, small and patient, repeating the witness's answers half a second before the witness gave them. By the second day, the anomaly had become social. Neighbors remembered conversations that had not happened yet. A pharmacist apologized for a funeral bouquet he would not order until winter. A child brought home a permission slip for a field trip to a building torn down in 1989. Parents signed because the signatures were already there. The registry classified the phenomenon as a narrative infection carried by official acknowledgement. It did not spread through blood, bites, symbols, or dreams. It spread when a person accepted that an impossible record might still be valid. Once accepted, the record began improving itself, adding dates, witnesses, and consequences, until reality made room. Evidence item A. A photograph taken outside the closed archive. In the image, 7 residents stand in the rain with their backs to the camera. 4 were confirmed asleep in other houses at the time. 1 had been dead for 12 years. 1 was not born yet. The 7th is obscured by a smear of light, shaped like a hand pressed from the wrong side of the picture. Evidence item B. A recovered transcript from a town council meeting. The minutes list, a motion to approve the replacement of all private grief with municipal grief. No council member remembered the meeting. The motion passed unanimously. The next morning, every family photo in town showed 1 extra chair at every table. Evidence item C. A medical report from the clinic. Patients complained of a pressure beneath the skin, as though another body were trying to remember where its bones belonged. X-rays showed faint secondary outlines. Ribs like parentheses. Finger bones branching toward names written in the margins of the film. The field team attempted a containment interview using blank paper only. No forms, no checkboxes, no file labels. For 9 minutes, the room stayed stable. Then a page on the table filled with handwriting none of the agents recognized. If you do not name us, we will use your mouths. After sunset, the tenant beneath the minutes became easier to describe and harder to deny. It was not a single figure. It was the pressure of being expected by something that had already prepared your obituary, your apology, and your last words. Witnesses reported seeing hallways extended by one extra door, always painted the color of old bruises. Mara Venn entered the municipal archive with 2 agents and a body camera. The camera did not show a basement. It showed a waiting room. The chairs were filled with people from Briarhook, Ohio, all facing a reception window where no receptionist sat. A bell on the counter rang whenever someone in town told a lie about being fine. Agent Hollis read aloud from a page he found in his own handwriting. The page described the next 3 minutes perfectly, including his refusal to continue reading. When he stopped, his shadow kept mouthing the words. The registry audio tech later enhanced the shadow's speech. It was asking for a case number. The recovered object, a green metal file box, opened by itself at 10:41 p.m. Inside was not paper, but a folded strip of skin, cleanly labeled with dates. Each date corresponded to a moment when someone in town had chosen politeness over truth. The abuse not reported. The illness not named. The disappearance called a move. The scream dismissed as foxes. This is where the case changed from haunting to indictment. The anomaly fed on records, but the records fed on silence. It used the language of offices because offices had taught everyone how to hide horror under stamps, signatures, and correct margins. It did not invent the town's dread, it audited it. At 11:08 p.m., the archive intercom activated. A voice addressed each agent by their childhood nickname. It offered to close one file for every true confession spoken into the speaker. The agents refused. In the body camera footage, the walls respond by breathing outward, making space for more cabinets. The final escalation involved Evelyn Rusk, the night clerk. The witness walked into the archive, carrying a casserole dish wrapped in foil, as if visiting a bereaved neighbor. They placed it on the reception counter and said, "I brought this for whatever has been waiting." Every file drawer in the room opened at once. The smell was not rot. It was Sunday dinner left too long in a warm house. Mara ordered evacuation. On the way out, Agent Hollis looked back. His face in the footage has been redacted, not for privacy, but because the expression changes every time the file is opened. Sometimes he is screaming, sometimes he is smiling with relief. Sometimes he is not yet old enough to be there. Containment was partial. The registry removed a green metal file box, sealed the archive, and issued a county-wide instruction not to correct inaccurate memories for 72 hours. Residents were told to let wrong names pass, let impossible dates stand, and never say, "That did not happen," while indoors. The instruction worked for most of the town. It failed for the postmaster. who insisted his dead brother had never delivered mail on Orchard Street, because Orchard Street had never existed. Witnesses saw the postmaster fold inward at the waist, like paper being returned to an envelope. The next morning, Orchard Street appeared on every map. Final registry note: Briar Hook, Ohio, remains under soft quarantine. The official record has been deliberately left incomplete. If you receive a document that proves something impossible about your life, do not sign it. If a stranger asks you to verify a memory, decline. If you hear filing cabinets opening inside your walls, leave before the tabs begin using your name. Addendum for production archive. This case is safe to narrate only because several names have been withheld. Do not improvise missing names. Do not invent dates for dramatic clarity. The file has shown a preference for completed patterns, and the registry does not recommend giving it any more endings than it already has. The file has shown a preference for completed patterns, and the registry does not recommend giving it any more endings than it already has.